Oh, welcome, Deborah. Already here. So, welcome to this special online conversation hosted by Moving to the Future and the Wise Move Society, the online community for the over 50 generation. This wise generation is growing rapidly. We're living longer, are longer healthy and active, and better educated than ever. There are many reasons why this generation should play a significant role in the economy and in society a lot longer than they expected when they started their career. I believe that the over 50 generation has a significant role to play in the creation of the future. We just need to tap into their knowledge, experience, and wisdom. With these Tuesday live conversations, we aim to give you a glimpse of what is happening online on the Wise Move Society, to share a bit about both the challenges and the opportunities that the 50 plus generation is facing, as well as how the members of the Wise Move Society work together to create the solutions and play an active role in society and in the economy. The wise generation is very clear that they're not on their way out, but they're part of the future. So for those who join us on Zoom, we love you to contribute to the conversation. If you join us on Facebook, please share your feedback and questions in the chat, in the comments. So my name is Ingun, and I'm the founder of Moving to the Future and the creator of the Wise Move Society. I'm here with my co-host Tatiana Rowson and our guest Paola Savva from Cyprus. Paola is the founder of SheInspires events and seminars and founder of Marina Blue Apartments. Winner of the 20 Successful People of Cyprus for her services to the community. But there is more that she will talk about today. There's a story there. So before we dive into the topic, I would like to give my co-host Tatiana the floor so she can share a bit more about her background, and she will pass on the stage to Paola.
Thank you, Ingun. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending where you are. So I'm Tatiana Rowson. I'm a researcher. I'm a psychologist by trade, but I'm a researcher and an academic, and I'm very much interested in investing in understanding how to improve the lives of people of 50 plus generation. I think there's a lot that happens in midlife that shifts what happens to us next. So understanding all the different ways that we can experience that helps us to find better solutions to what's coming next. And as someone that does research, I love stories. I collect stories, and that's what I work with. And I think, Paola, I'm really excited you're here to share your story with us, because I think that makes everything we talk about really real and meaningful. So before I pass on the mic, I'm just saying for everyone that are with us every week, I'm going to slip out a bit earlier today. I'm teaching, so I'm on teaching duty today. So if I disappear, you know, I'm going to see my students. I haven't dropped out of the line. So with that aside, I'll focus again on you, Paola, because that you're the star of the show today, and we'd really like to welcome you.
Thank you so much, Ingun, Paul, and Tatiana, for giving me this opportunity to be among you, sharing my story, especially in a situation where everybody now in the world are facing so much changes, transmissions. There are so many people losing their jobs or losing their people. They have a loss of people, loss of jobs, and everything. Being and feeling stuck in life is an awful place to be. When you are stuck, it feels as though you are literally in the mud and are running around in circles. It also feels as though no matter what you do or say, nothing will ever change for the better, and you're stuck in a rut forever. If you're not careful, being stuck in life, it can magnify the fear, guilt, anger, shame, or apathy you are feeling. And the more you you become stuck, then more you get into depression. So it's all about getting the right decision and dare to move towards the unknown with vision, gratefulness, and persistence. My name is Paola Savva. I come from Larnaca, Cyprus, and I want to share with you what happened to me. Of course, everybody in their lives, something happened. Okay, it's not only me, but traumatically in 2013, with the bail-in in Cyprus, I was working in the financial sector for 30 years. Due to the bail-in in Cyprus and the economic crisis, I had to leave my job. I lost my job. I was working for 30 years in an age of 49. And not only that, I lost the pension fund I was keeping for 30 years. And so I left without any salary. I left with no pension, no deposits. As many other people, within a day, they became from rich, poor. How I think you must know that if you have ever been developed in a specific part of your life and in your career, to develop and become as a manager in the bank, that took me not a day, not weeks, not months, years. And gradually, the daily habit of waking up early in the morning to have a goal, to have a vision. And gradually I realized that what I was doing, I was being with other people around me. There was this energy I was giving and I was taking also. I was giving my help, my services, but not only that, I became expert in something. And my expertise gave me that confidence. I had that security and my income, and I could always contribute to the society, to the people around me, and be fulfilled and happy. But all of a sudden, all these were gone. And I felt that I had no title anymore. I didn't feel that then. I was untitled. Yes, I was Paola Savva, who was a bank manager. Paola Savva, who everybody, when I went out, they would be asking me, advise them, approving their loans, discussing with them. And all of a sudden, I came out of the system and I realized that I was starting to questioning myself and saying, who am I? I thought in the beginning I'm nobody, but then it can't be I'm nobody. I've given so much and I've been awarded so much. So I started questioning, and this curiosity to find out what I could do next. It wasn't easy. I was so much depressed. I started feeling a little bit awkward. I didn't want to go out. I was waking up in the morning and I say, why should I wake up? I mean, where to go? Before I was waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, I got dressed, I had my visions, my goals, and I would go and like a play. I was in the play and I loved what I did. So I found myself in bed 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I didn't, with my pajamas, and I was feeling guilty, worthless. And I didn't have, my life was not without a meaning. Though I had people loving me, my family, my husband, still I had my house, but there was no particular essence in everything I did. And then I realized I was shaken up one day when I woke up and I felt that I was exactly opposite a wall and that there were barriers. I was feeling I was in a prison. And I realized that I put myself in a prison. And I started saying to myself that no, I've made a decision that I will not leave any second of my life to be used in depression, in feeling worthless, and also not to make myself happy. I deserve happiness. I started saying, I deserve happiness like every single person on earth. And I exercise, and I'm exercising these 8 years since 2013, patience, forgiveness, gratefulness, and I went out in personal developing. I made a lot. I went into London. I took a lot of lessons in. I did NLP. I studied for being a coach. Then, additionally on that one, what it came naturally to me is that all that services I was giving to people, I was very good into interpersonal relationships. So one single advice or I heard about booking.com and Airbnb, immediately the small apartment I had, it started giving me an income. And I felt so proud of myself, even that I was cleaning it. I became a cleaner. I was getting afterward nicely dressed to host the person coming. I like to make him a tour in Larnaca, to make him feel comfortable, like a small guide. I love my Larnaca town, and I like to share the best places, not only in Larnaca, everywhere in the world, and they were in the island. So I created this small hospitality business as a result of these interpersonal relationships I had and my natural passion to serve people. This started giving me a sort of income. And step by step, from one apartment, we make it 10 small apartments, and we can host anytime people from abroad and local peoples as well. But my passion drove me to another path, which is my personal path, because during this journey, I found out that I knew everything that every single person who was around me wanted. And I was the person that I would be supporting them, being by their side, only to make them feel happy and make them pursue their dreams. And I didn't know what was my dream. I said, I didn't know what I wanted. And I said, okay, what is what I want? Is it only to serve other people? Of course, at that point of stage, I had to find myself, reinvent myself before I start again giving myself to others, because there is nothing more that pleases me and like me and make me happy to be by the side of other people. And I started the SheInspires and Cyprus events and seminars with my first conference on the title She Woman. So you will see me under a lot of she, because I believe in women. I believe in us, and we have a role to play. Our role is to be a chain to everyone, to be a light one to another, and not competitors. We are not competing here. We all have a story. We all struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
I would like, Paola, because I think you can talk on forever, but your story is really very powerful. I do want to take a couple of steps back, because I do think that by the way, welcome to everyone who popped in later, Nina, Maria, and Dina. Really good to see you here. You mention a lot, really a lot. You know, you lose your job, and I think it was bankruptcy of the bank, wasn't it?
yes, Yes, it was
Yes. So it
bankruptcy. I
was,
didn't
it
have any
was,
choice. No
yeah,
choice.
it was one moment after the other. You lose your job, you lose your income, you lose your retirement fund, you lose your identity, because that is what I hear in your story. And then because this is something I do think that our age group, if something happens, you really feel, if something happens in your 20s or 30s, then, it's already devastating almost.
Yes.
But if this happens at a phase in your life that you're really moving towards, okay, I've already done 30 years, so how am I going to do, the next couple of years? You feel depressed, you feel angry, you feel that fear, that shame, that hunger, you stay in bed. But there is this moment that you feel like, okay, come on, Paola, the only one who can solve this, who can really pick up the pieces, is me.
Yes. Yes. It's there is no any other way. I mean, if you allow me to share a screen, if you would like to, um, so I will take you the steps I took, which are not a lot, but I didn't know then that I was taking these steps. I really didn't know. But since I had to talk or give my story out, I had to find out what really made me shake me. It really shook me. And that it came like I had to decide within a day. So I was feeling very angry, as I said, and I was feeling hatred about the people who decide about this thing to make the bail-in, to people to lose their money. It was a bad decision. I don't discuss that. So I had to give up a lot of those things, which is not easy. But I had to come and start feeling grateful, writing down what am I grateful for, what I want to be living for, because I didn't have any purpose. I thought I didn't have a purpose to live. I was so depressed. And then I was feeling also very guilty for having time, to stay in bed. Really, it was a very depressed thing for me to be in bed, to just go for coffee and have plenty of time in front of me, not to be in a rush. But then I realized that it's okay to have time. It's time now is very limited and it's very precious. So I realized how precious that period was for me, because I have a lot of time to think, to enjoy, to start using my body, start using the movement, enjoying the sea, because I'm a winter swimmer as well. So I made it a daily practice. And that is what you have to do, is take a break and fill up your tank. How you do that? You go out, you walk, and be consistent. I started waking up 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock. I knew before everybody was saying, be at 5 a.m. in the club, and then you will feel differently. I believe in that, and please start putting small things in your life like that to move your body, you move your mind, and then your spirit. You start feeling that you have the energy to move yourself first, and then to move others. And then your head is clear, and you can have ideas. Ideas are taking there and here. So that is one advice and one step I took. And then I had step 2, make a decision. Beside the first decision to start walking and doing that, what was my decision? My decision is that I was angry and I thought my life was over. My life is over unless I now give up the story I tell to myself. What was the story I was giving to myself? I was starting feeling like a cleaner, but it's not bad to be a cleaner. I was just thinking that I was ruthless. I was nothing else to do, but no, that was wrong. I was preparing myself for my business. I was becoming an entrepreneur. And yes, I had to go through the first stages to do the job myself before I have assistance and help. And so gradually I then found myself to go to the third step, which is to create a vision. What do I want myself to be in 5 years? Do I want myself to be just Paola going around having coffee all the time, getting dressed, and just nothing else? No, I want Paola to be what she used to be a good member of her family, to be smiling to her family first, herself first, and then to her community. And from her community to be able to help others. Like I needed help from others. So I did that. I created a vision. And before your 50s, I started thinking what I was doing before my 50s. I had goals, I had dreams. And then I came to the bank. If I wasn't at the bank, I wouldn't be able to do something else. Everybody is capable of doing lots of things in life. The only thing you have to do is to be patient and start looking for it. And then step 4 is take action by small little steps. I didn't know how to stand in front of people and talk, but because I was so angry, I was so devastated, I was so depressed, I wanted to tell people that, oh my God, this is a miracle. I found that there is happiness, even if you don't have money. There are a lot of free things to do if you want to be happy. To go on a walk is free. To go to the sea, no, I don't need a safe pass. Believe it or not, come in Cyprus, come in Larnaca, just you feel the freedom. Step into the beach, step into the water, and then immediately everything clears up. Have a coffee, how much does it cost? With a good friend. I change my friends, the toxic ones. I love people, I love helping people. I'm not abandoning anybody who has problems. But I will stop now helping people that they want to drive me down or they want to make me feel that I deserve nothing, because everybody deserves. And as I feel that everybody deserves everything, I feel that I deserve everything as well. And the last one is to exercise patience and persistence. And believe it or not, a step forward towards your dreams. You make yourself happy, but you make your family happy. Even my husband, the children, they're feeling happy just being around me, and I feel being supporting their dreams. So yes, we all have the right to take time to see ourselves and share these stories to each other. As I have showed you the 5 steps here, summarizing is that together we are stronger, whatever do we do. When things are bad is the best time to reinvent yourself. Mm-hmm. And the 5 key steps that I did it by, I listened to myself. I listened to my inner self. I took a break and refilled my tank. I made the decision. I created a vision for my future. I took the action by taking simple steps. I am patient and prepared without any excuses. And I do feel that each and every moment, everybody can do that. And how do I get out of this? Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
I hope.
Yes, thank you, Paola. There will be more questions, so there will be more sharing. And I already see in the chat here, but also on Facebook, that a lot of people do feel aligned, and this is just what they need. So that is really good. Tatiana, do you want to step in?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Paola, for sharing your story. And I think that you put it all together so briefly, and I'm sure there's just so many chapters and turns and moments in that story that is there as well. it takes me back to that. There's a theory that talks about grief and how we deal with loss. Most people, a lot of people know about it. It's from a Swiss psychologist called Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and she talks about the stages that we have to deal with: the denial, the anger, and then slowly we get to that place of acceptance. And actually, that's the way we can start to turn the tide. Once we come to terms of what is gone, it's gone, then we get to that moment that we can actually do something about it. And I think what's beautiful, Paola, that you said, I deserve happiness, because that's very meaningful, that moment that we realize we do deserve happiness, or we do deserve fulfillment, or we do deserve to contribute. That's the moment that everything can change. And I'm not minimizing the barriers and the difficulties and the challenges that anyone might experience in doing that. But until that point, that shift, it's very difficult to put action into place and actually take the steps necessary to make that change. So thank you for sharing your story, because I'm sure a lot of people listening might be getting to that point that they're just about to tell themselves that they deserve it. They can just go and give themselves what they deserve. So
this is the right for every single person on earth. We are here to be happy, not to create anger. That is what we all should be working for. And you know, everything is energy, and everything, the more it's like love. You exercise love. Life, you exercise it. Sometimes even if you want to kill somebody, just cool down. It's okay. There is a logic, everything behind it. So where there is love, and there is a way. I think so. And that is where I believe also in something bigger than us. I believe in God. I believe that when I felt so lonely, I realized that I was not lonely. But I had to go very deep down to feel that thing. And I would say this from Wayne Dyer, one phrase that is really into my heart and into my mind, that learn to be attached to nothing, and free from everything. So you must never open to everything and attached to nothing. That is my touch that I have from Wayne Dyer. So we must all know that all titles will eventually go. There will be the time you have to leave your job. There will be the time you will not be a mother, you will be a grandmother. There will be a time. So the circle of lives in our age, from 50 years old and up, we will be losing titles, but we must not lose who we are, because who we are, we don't lose. If we think about it more wisely and thoroughly, we must not lose our mind. We must actually develop and be greater than the title we used to have. So we never lose anything if we remain to our core.
thank you.
Yeah.
Paola, I would say that having read a lot about the second half of life, the philosophical side of the second half of life, it's a lot of finding who we are from inside out rather than outside in. So not the titles, not the labels, but what we decide to project to the world.
Exactly.
And I think you capture that again very, very nicely.
You know, to reach a decision and to reach your vision, a new vision, a new goal, because when you reinvent yourself, there are a lot of things changing. some people told me, why didn't you go to another financial institution? Believe it or not, I was thinking of going, and I was doing some applications. And so I started learning the Russian language, because I said, if I know Russian in Cyprus now, definitely all financial institutions would love to have me. And I started the journey of the Russian language, which helped me amazingly, because I love languages. And I want to go to Russia one day and stay 3 months and learn the language completely well. And it's one of my dreams. But that kept me busy, my mind. So it's good to have a vision. It's good to have and something to and the progress I was making through the language gave me the confidence I needed to decide myself that I didn't need the job to the financial system anymore. I've had enough of that. So now I want to be more with you, more able to advise and to be at service with other people and enjoy life, because it's limited. It's limited.
Absolutely is, yes. It's wonderful to see that actually you were forced to do this. You were forced to go on this exploration, on this transformation journey. And it has given you so much wisdom. And you're really finding yourself, your true self, instead of the bank manager who you have been for 30 years. Yeah.
Dear Ingun, I will tell you how I felt when they said the bail-in. I knew immediately that there will be a lot of people lose their jobs. 1,700. We lost our jobs within a day. In 2 weeks, we have to decide. There was no thing. They said, if you don't leave the job, then you will lose the 50% they were giving us to settle our loans. They didn't give it for free. They give us the money we owed for our pension only if we went out without and paying everything to our loans. So, and then I experienced and I lived with the people that they had millions. There was a people, and I saw stories, and what Tatiana says, that she's taking the stories of people. One of my things I want to do is to take stories of people of the bank who had millions and they were their whole life. And one day from 7 million, I had a customer, he had owned only 100,000. After he sold everything in Australia, he came back to Cyprus and he had only 100,000 to live for the rest of his life. So there were so many stories of people that they were destroyed, that mine was, I was 1,000th. But still, everybody's things in life that they are not right is a loss. Everybody has a loss, so a loss for everybody is a loss. And it's a part, like you are the whole body. You have a hand, you have a foot, your mind. Then it's like they're cutting something from you. There is a cut off, and you need the healing period. So it was like a big surgeon, a big healing.
Absolutely. And yeah, Deborah, I will come with my question. I will keep it there. Deborah, you're muted. Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Paola, that's just a heart-wrenching story that you went through. But what I love about the story is that you went from crisis to calling.
Yes.
Your calling, and your journey opened your eyes to so many aspects of yourself that in that job that you were doing that gave you so much, it brought alive the so much more that was in you. And it was just time. It was the right time. And you just happened to go through a crisis to get you there. But, change is hard for everyone. And we can either make that change in a crisis, or there's some chaotic situation in our life, or it's a chance, by just chance, something happens, or it can be your calling.
Mhm.
And so it's just, I love how your growth. You took the opportunity to go from cleaning toilets to an organization helping other people. That's so inspiring. Thank
And
you.
feeling proud of it. I mean, everybody should feel proud of ourselves. And, I believe, like all of you, I don't know if you think about it, but I think what happened to me in 2013 was like preparing me for today. Today in 2021, who would imagine that we would be isolated? Who would imagine that we would not be allowed to go out? Who would imagine that we are not allowed to go to a coffee shop? And things that we had for granted. So there's nothing. We must not take anything for granted. At any point of our life or any time of our life, anything can happen to us. That is why I have to be well prepared inside us and say that the most important thing is to be healthy. Health has to do with the mind, not only with physical things. And everybody, there are some of the ladies, and thank you so much, my friends, that they are here hearing me and being with us today, is that I always try to maintain this positiveness and the attitude, because it's not only that which happened to me this couple of years, but I see people around me that they are dying, and I'm there for them, maybe years, months, with many diseases, not only one or only two. And then I keep on reminding myself that now for everybody is the time for patience. We are all now being tested. Every single person of us is now tested in time for patience. And God, everybody says that when things look bad, probably we must always think that we are blessed to see something else and something better will come. And I do believe that only we have to be patient. And I remind this to myself many times, because there are times that just I need to get my strength from somewhere. And if my friends are not there, which that is another God-blessed thing, to have good friends and be surrounded by the wise, the moving to the future, or the wise move society, and other things that I am now getting into, is to maintain this positiveness and attitude that we all need these days.
One of the things I'm thinking of, and then I'm going to ask you again, participants, to come up with your questions. You can also post them in the chat if you want to. Nowadays, we talk a lot about a multi-stage life. This generation, well, all generations, everybody is getting older and older. So, if I look at my own situation, I'm 62. It's the chance that I live into my 90s. It's already, they're doing all these calculations. So I will live at least another 30 years. What they predict of the younger generations is that they will live in their hundreds. So this means that if you start working when you're 20 or you're 25, you have 75 years ahead of you. And that's in this ever-changing world, you actually need to reinvent yourself every 7 years, because the world changes so rapidly. And, the jobs, what there are now, some of them won't exist in 10 or 15 years. So we will need to reinvent ourselves and think about what we do want out of life. And in this situation for you, you're more or less forced to do that. But we do need to be aware that we all need to reinvent ourselves, and every so many years, and think about, okay, so what is needed? And also, we change, in 7 years. For me, is maybe a lot happened, and I again feel like that's my purpose in life. It cannot really change huge, but that there are changes and that I feel that I need to adjust. And that is also with that multi-stage life. Give yourself the opportunity to reflect on what is going on, really feel what you want out of life, and then make new choices.
That's what, yes.
Tatiana.
Anybody else wants to talk about it?
But Tatiana was raising her hand.
I'm going to do my final words because I'm going to slip out very shortly. I think that's, thank you for bringing the 7 years and the reinvention. I think change happens to us whether we want it or not. And I think the difference is sometimes it's gentle and slow, and sometimes it's very sudden, and we have to be really resilient. But there's one certainty, and as we live longer, we do not stay the same, not only because the world changed, but because we get bored as well. We do the same thing. There's a cycle of learning. We start something, it's exciting, it's interesting, we become good at it. And then if you don't change much, you become a bit bored with it. So it is natural that we have this hunger for fulfilling and for learning, which is natural from being alive, I would say, from being human. We want to learn. It's a natural instinct. So change comes, and sometimes building on your health, Paola, like you said, on your resilience, is the best thing that we can give ourselves, because we don't know if the change that's coming to us is a gentle, slow change, or if it's something that makes us very quickly having to pick ourselves up and sort of find a way out.
Correct. Bravo, Tatiana.
Absolutely, yeah. Did you want to respond to that, Paola, or am I going to give the floor? Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to add that, over 50, when the one thing I just have to listen a lot when I went out from the banking system is that, everybody was saying, it's about you to retire. It's about you to retire. And they were saying it in such a way that it's like, you're finished. There's nothing more. Now your children will you have grandchildren and you will be taking care of them. And I didn't see myself in only that role, being such I don't see myself as only that. So I believe that if we stop learning and committing and doing something, it's like we're dying. So if we want to really have a very good life and for a long time, we have to maintain this curiosity to learn more things, to participate. Because slowly, if you start getting away from things, absent to that, don't do one, two, slowly, the aging is coming. And that is my opinion.
I think so, yes. Well, Tatiana, thank you for your addition as well, because I know that you have to run. So we'll see you next week again. Okay, one of the others. I see. Okay, Dina, you have to unmute yourself.
Right. Hello, everybody. Hi.
Hi,
Nice to meet you all. Nice to see you all. I know Paola for many years. She's one of my oldest friends, and I followed her journey from, well, first of all, as a mother, fantastic mother. And she actually, when I really noticed Paola was at primary school, when she was the only mother that came up to me and congratulated me on my son's speech. He gave a speech when he was the president of the school, anyway, the children's school. And she was the only one that came up to me, and I really appreciated that, because it just showed how big she is, what kind of person she is, and we've been friends ever since, and I followed her, and I just want to congratulate her, because yeah, she did reinvent herself. Whatever she does at each stage of her life, she has managed it perfectly well. She has, kept to her core principles. And above all, she's a human being. She's a nice person, will help anybody in need, and even just, an ear, lending her ear whatever problem we've got, she's got the solution, or just understanding. And that's what I think I appreciate that most about Paola. Even for myself, from my own personal experience, it's true what you're saying about different stages of your life, and your goals change. We all think we want to be, be somebody. Well, so she disappeared. Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Okay. I got married young at 19. I left university halfway through to get married and have 3 children. And for 10 years, that's what I did. I was the housewife with the children, but I had this something at the back of my mind saying, this is not what I'm cut out to be. I really enjoyed being a mother. But then, it wasn't my goal for myself. So after the youngest one went to kindergarten, I re-enrolled at university and got my degree. And since then, I've been working. And I'm still working. And I had the opportunity, and I have done it, to go higher up in my job. And now, at, as I said, almost 59, I'm thinking, it's time to. My family has moved back. My son and my 2 grandchildren have moved back to Cyprus now. So I'm really enjoying spending time with them. So now, after how many years has it been of teaching and doing online courses and that, it's time to, it's not my primary goal anymore. We change. I'm still want to teach. I really enjoy it. I enjoy what I'm doing, but it's not my goal to become a world famous online tutor. Mm-hmm. And have online courses, and that people change throughout their lives, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean we always have to be, famous and do something special in our life and make ourselves heard. People change, and just enjoy every stage of your life and do what fulfills you. That's what I take home from this. Yeah. That's my experience. I don't know if anyone agrees with me.
Yeah, I really do believe that you're right. And also going back to the beginning of your what you mentioned about the stage. Bye, Deborah. I know you have a class on the hour, so see you later. I was using a quote yesterday when I was writing an article, and it said, people rather be led by someone. No. Not with a title, but someone who cares. And that is also what
someone who cares. Yeah.
Rather someone who cares. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. May I add to that, Ingun? I would say also, not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great in service. Everybody can be a service for somebody. Mm-hmm. To be by the side of their children, your mother, your neighbor. So that is, again, very, it cannot be measured and not be awarded. But that doesn't mean that because you are not awarded for that, it doesn't mean anything. Mm-hmm. It's more, sometimes you give more to society by helping people around you.
Mm. Without expecting anything back, because that is the true way of giving. You give without expecting anything back, and that is really fulfilling. Yeah, I really want to move to the next question, because our comments, Mary Jane, I saw that you had your head up and your hand, and Linda, yeah.
Yes. Just more of a comment. I came in quite late into the session, so Paula, I'm going to be listening back to hear your story. But one of the things that it really struck me and the term has been used, resilient, you know, the resilience that you developed through all of this. But you had a choice, you know, you could have stayed a victim of what happened to you, or you were able to grow and learn from it. And that choice, you took the path of greatest return. But so hats off. I don't know exactly what you experienced, financial loss, etc. I did understand that coming into this session, but yeah, I think it really highlights how important it is to realize we always have a choice. We may not choose what's happening to us, and often we don't, but we have a choice how we're going to respond. And you chose the high road from the sounds of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and she does it successfully as well. Doing it well.
I
That's
would
great.
say, Mrs. Mary, thank you for your interruption. I would say something which I liked from childhood. I always had as my role model of an actor was Aliki Vuyuklaki, a very famous Greek actress. That she had this motto. She said, I lived, and I will live with the reality that I want to make life a fairy tale and transmit it to the world around me. That is optimism, that is hope. And that is how I want to be. I want to be a pleasant person to my surroundings. And I want to be that thing too, because everybody wants to be a child. Everyone likes fairy tales. So we can do that to ourselves, to our families, to our everybody next to us.
Mhm.
So,
Paola, just on that, actually, if it's okay, Ingun.
Yep.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for holding this space. It's such a beautiful conversation, and especially to hear firsthand all of these experiences. And especially Paola, I think your experience is very valid, and the fact that you share it in a way, it just normalizes reinventing yourself at every given stage, as you said, Ingun, and just evaluating your goals at different stages. And I just wanted to thank each of you for normalizing this and making it okay at any age, at any stage, to think, okay, this isn't working, or my goals have changed. I wanted this before, I don't want it now, and I want something better. And I can keep doing that. And those statistics I thought was very telling, you know, and I think that these spaces need to be shared with all different age groups to serve as role models, to see you guys do it. I think I'm slightly younger than a lot of you here, but to see you guys do it and know that it's okay at any age that you can totally reinvent yourself and live a purposeful life is just beautiful. So thank you so much for this conversation.
Mhm.
thank you, Linda, for your kind words and well said. Thank you.
That was really great. Yes, Linda, thank you for that. And you're right. And the thing is, you know, on the Wise Move Society, one of our oldest members, actually, he's 84, and he is developing by now 2 apps. And this guy is amazing when he shares his story. I'm going to invite him to do that once here on the Tuesday afternoon. It is about, you know, also staying curious, about daring to you know, adventurous and really exploring new things, because that also helps you, one, to keep you young. That is also something we did discuss. But, you know, he has such an open mind to what is happening. And he was working on one project, but then he thinks, you know, the thing I'm doing right now here can also be used too. And he's diving into it. He's 84 years old. You know, talking about reinventing himself, it is a constant process. And you can sit and wait behind, you know, the curtains of the flower pots on your balcony, or you can make a lot out of life. And you know, the situation also, what you've been talking about, Paola, about your retirement fund, losing your retirement fund. You have built one, but there's many people who have not built a sufficient retirement fund. And I don't know about the Canadians here, but I think Mary Jane helped me. I think it is 90% of the Canadians retire into poverty. Remember what that will mean, so you can not reinvent yourself and wait and see what will happen, or you feel that this life is still, let's make it a fairy tale. I love that expression, you know, let's do the things that we love and that makes us happy, makes our family happy, makes our surroundings happy. That is that wave of, you know, that ripple effect that we will get, and especially at this age. Nina, or Lily, is there anything that you want to add? We still have 5 minutes. Any questions?
Nina is a fantastic lady. We cannot hear you, Nina.
Now, hello, good evening, everyone.
Hello, Nina.
Yeah, thank you very much first for invitation, and thank you, Paul, for your impressive story. What it's coming.
We don't hear you.
Hello.
Nina,
Yeah.
for some reason, we cannot hear you.
Hello.
Yes, now
We
yes.
hear you. Yeah.
Now you can hear me. Okay. Good evening, everyone, for the third time. And I want to thank you very much for this invitation and the group. It's amazing. And thank you, Paola. Paola, it's a dear friend of mine. And for her really very inspirational story. And I think many of us can associate with some details of her life, because all of us, we went through this, especially myself, living in the 3 different continents. I would just wanted to add small thing. When we want to reinvent ourselves, we always want to do something for better. And we always have to ask ourselves very important question: what is the value in this? What is my value to grow and to be well? It's very good. I think today it's sustainability, very important, but not only for economical, social, personal goal, but I think it's very important also to have it do it very transparently, doing with all the ethics and do it with all the integrities. So our way when reinvent ourselves, that has that value. So others also, they can look into it and they can respect, because today it's very important to keep our name and our position in the society in the level that it has to be respectful, especially when, you know, many things are going on that they're not right. We should always do it that it's we can teach, especially our youth, what is the right way to do it. And I think what Paola has done, going through such a, my cousin went to also from Laiko Bank, and I'm the one of the people who lost the money in the Laiko Bank. I was a customer, so I know what she's talking about. Lady started really from nothing, and in her years when she has, as she says, to be a grandmother and everything, has a children, to reinvent herself, and today to run very successful Airbnb business with very good name, her and her family. It's really something that we have to congratulate her. And so with other way, we can say everything is possible if you put your mind to it, and if you do it with a lot of love and with the good values. So
thank you, Nina. It's very nice to hear from every and each one of you that you are all admirable women, and it's nice to have people like you embracing and supporting. Thank you very much. It means a lot to me that you are here tonight.
Yes, thank you. I just quick, Lily, last.
Yeah. Thank you, Paola, for sharing your story. I realize that the older I get, the more I realize the possibilities I have, and I really appreciate that. And I would like to share the example of my sister. She has been a doctor and she retired 10 years ago. She's 75 now. And I realized that her life is about flowering the balcony, staying on the balcony. And she is bad. She's just going down. And I realized that it has to be, and it's a chance for me. I have been forced to change at around 50. And I'm very glad about that because it helped me to be in that mood. And I realized that my sister doesn't, because she retired, she has her money and she has her hip replaced and this all. And it's a pity to see her. And I would like everybody and all of us to share our stories everywhere, because young women have to know that even if they are engineer now, they could create something, they could become entrepreneurs and all that. And it's such an interesting life. Thank you for sharing today.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. So much to do, so little time. Paola, last words from you.
My last words is that we always have to have faith, believe in ourselves, be patient, to have our rituals, daily rituals without any excuses, which will move us ahead, and keep an hour a day minimum to maintain our mindset and be helpful to others. As I said, we cannot all be famous, but we can all be great in service. And I do thank you again for giving me this opportunity, and hope not only to be that night, to be able to host you here in Cyprus and have a real personal chat all together, having coffee or a drink or a wine in a festive way.
Yeah, that would absolutely be nice. I was there last week, so it was great to experience that country. So thank you all very much. Thank you, Paola, for sharing your story, sharing your wisdom. Thank you for all those who showed up today and joined in the conversation. This is also, gives you an idea of what is going on the Wize Move Society. We regularly have all kinds of amazing conversations there. So if you're not yet a member, please join us. You can I will put the information in the comments on Facebook, and all those who join us on Facebook also. Thank you very much for joining, and hope to see you soon on the Wize Move Society.
Thank you. And remember, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Paola. Thanks, Ingun.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.